Welcome to the Otsumami Party Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Ian.
I'm Saya.
We both grew up in different countries. Where are you from, Saya?
I'm from Japan. Where are you from, Ian?
I'm from the US. In this podcast, we'll discuss fun little interesting things about vastly different cultures, daily lives living in different cities, and other fun, interesting topics.
During our time together, we invite you to grab some otsumami or finger food of your own and join us for a fun, cozy time. Enjoy!
Otsumami party in the house. Okay, sorry, I won't ever do that ever again.
It's okay. I just wasn't sure what you were saying at the very end.
I said Otsumami party in the house.
Oh, in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up? What you eating?
I am eating kaki no tane today. In other words,
Okay.
kakipi. In Japan.
Kakipi. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's very typical otsumami, like in Japan. I really don't think this is a kaki, but tane means like seed. So like literally it means the seed of the persimmon.
Persimmon seeds.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a persimmon seed at all. It's just like
like crunchy.
Yeah, it's just like a chips kind of.
I love those though.
I know.
They're so delicious.
Yeah, and it comes with peanuts. So we shortened it and we say kakipi, like the P from like a peanut, and then kaki for the kaki no tane. But so this kakipi has a different flavor than the usual one. It says ume shiso.
Okay.
It's the plum. You remember the umeboshi, the plum pickles, kind of like a Japanese thing.
Really sour.
Yeah, but this one has that flavor with like shiso, with Japanese basil, like goes with it. So I think it's a little sour.
I'd like to try those.
It's pretty good.
There was one time I stopped at a gas station, and we have those kinds of trail mix or whatever, and sometimes they have that kind of thing in the trail mix. And one time I bought some trail mix that was ranch flavored. And that's such an American thing.
Right.
But I was on my way to or from Kentucky. I can't remember if I got it on the way there or on the way back. And we stopped in Cincinnati on our way there. And I got some trail mix. And I want to say it was only that.
Oh, so no peanuts?
Yeah, I don't think it had peanuts in it. But it was only what you said is called persimmon seed in Japanese.
Yeah, kaki no tane.
But I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it looks exactly the same. But it was ranch flavored, and I ate it, and about halfway through the bag, I got really sick of them. I got really tired, because that ranch flavored is so strong sometimes.
Yeah, ranch sauce is such an American thing.
Yeah.
Like I bought some like a ranch flavor or something as a souvenir, and my mom was like, "What's a ranch sauce?" And I'm like, it's a ranch sauce. It's like a white sauce, but not Southern Island and not usual dressing, but not mayonnaise.
Right.
But it's good, but I don't know if I like it or like I just.
Did you like it?
I think so. But many food, like in Japan, when it's something imported, like even McDonald's or like those kind of like fast food or whatever, they change it to like a Japanese taste, right? Like,
I wonder what they did to the ranch.
I don't know. I've never actually seen the ranch sauce in Japan, so I think like probably it wasn't popular for major people, or I don't know.
I mean, sure, yeah.
But I kind of like it. Like nowadays,
I
I turn into the person who dipped my pizza to a ranch sauce.
Oh, yeah.
It's like such an American thing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So now, like, I can't say if it's American taste or, like, if this is something that Japanese people would like as well.
Yeah, I know that ranch came from some kind of secret recipe that this person made on his ranch or whatever, and he sold it on his ranch. And would invite like people over and be like, hey, have some of my special dressing. And I don't remember the exact story of it. I did read up on it, and I think I listened to a podcast that described it and talked about the history of it. But I don't remember it exactly. But I do know that a guy basically invented it, invited a lot of his friends or family over, and just had it there. I mean, I'm sure it was much different then than it is now.
Yeah.
Because you can almost taste the preservatives in it.
But that was the origin. Like his like a special original sauce.
Yeah. And I want to say he even named his ranch the Hidden Valley Ranch. Like that's his place. And now it's the brand of ranch is Hidden Valley.
Oh, wow. Where is it? Like, which state is it?
I'll have to look it up. 1 sec.
One eternity later.
Okay. It says that it's located near Santa Barbara in California.
I see.
The Hidden Valley Guest Ranch is located there and was favored by visitors who wanted to enjoy the natural surroundings.
What's the ranch sauce made out of? Like, what's the main ingredient?
So I know that what gives it kind of the tangy flavor is like dill, like fresh dill, and like garlic powder.
I see.
I mean, that's what the specs are in the ranch is the dill and the pepper and all that. But I know that there's garlic in it. Some of these recipes are calling for like sour cream. Actually, all of these say like buttermilk and sour cream. So I think that gives it its creamy texture with the dill and the garlic and the lemon sauce and mayonnaise and so it's kind of like basically a whole bunch of creamy ingredients mixed with dill, garlic, pepper.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite good actually. I like it mostly on pizza. I don't usually put it in my salad. I usually prefer blue cheese dressing on my salad.
Oh, yeah.
I know
that's so good.
We're probably going to receive a lot of hate for liking blue cheese.
Maybe, yeah.
One of my friends who listens to the podcast, he was like, I don't like blue cheese, and I hate that you like it.
Oh, no.
But I like the podcast.
Well, at least he likes our podcast. That's a great thing. I know the blue cheese is very, I don't know, controversial.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just has like a really strong taste. And as somebody who has a really sensitive palate, I really like the kind of the aftertastes and the notes of blue cheese. Like sometimes it tastes nuttier than most cheeses, you can almost pick out each individual flavor. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but some blue cheeses go really well with like honey.
Yeah.
Or, and I know we talked about this in another episode, but we really, really like blue cheese.
I know, like I love blue cheese since I was a little kid. And so I love cheese out of, any kinds basically, but some people just say like, oh yeah, I love cheese too. But do you like blue cheese? Are you the person who is okay with blue cheese as well? That's like a little bit of like a line. There's a line.
Right, absolutely.
And like if she or he says like, oh yeah, I love blue cheese as well. She was like, I would be like, yes. Like
best friends immediately.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm eating things that would go well with blue cheese. I'm eating berries, so strawberry and grapes.
Nice. Do you have blue cheese as well?
No.
Dang.
I wish.
Dang. Boo, 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 boo.
I was spoiled by the Rogue River blue cheese, and so ever since then, I can't ever have any blue cheese. Otherwise,
God.
It's no, just kidding. I love blue cheese. I just haven't found a good place to get it.
He's being a celebrity, kind of about it. Like gourmet.
Gourmet. Yeah. I'm being posh. And to drink in the signature Nodame Cantabile.
We gotta talk about the Nodame Cantabile one time. in some
Oh,
episode
yeah.
in the near future.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are a few shows. Like, I want to talk about The Dragon Prince. I want to talk about No Dame Cantabile. You should talk about Conan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should do
Yeah.
that.
So,
But
yeah.
I have brown sugar rum.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So the rum that I got is particularly strong and kind of low quality. And so I put a little bit of brown sugar in it, and it's making it so much better and a little bit more palatable.
Nice.
Actually, I got this rum. My friend came to visit, and it was kind of like a last minute thing. And so when I picked him up, we went immediately to the liquor store because, you know, we like to partay.
Oh,
And,
it's a mommy party.
Oh, it's a mommy party. No, so we like to drink and sit around and talk a little bit. And I sent him in, you know, in Philly, you know, you can't usually leave your car anywhere, but you can pull aside anywhere and just put on your flashers.
True.
Like you can do that anywhere and everyone will just go around you. But you can't park anywhere.
Right.
So what you do is you take somebody with you. You go and you put your flashers on in the middle of the road. They run in, grab it, come back out, and then you go home. You know, and of course I pulled to the side because I, you know, in a pay for parking thing, but I didn't want to pay for parking. So
You stay there.
yeah, this place is really downtown. So he ran in, grabbed like a $15 bottle of rum, came back. And I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad in like something like Coke or something like that, but it's not like a drink it by itself sort of thing.
Gotcha.
This is the same bottle that I had a few episodes ago where I said I put some water in it to water it down, and
I see.
yeah, that's the reason. It's because it's not super great quality.
I'm drinking the gin and tonic because I like gin, and I bought a big bin of gin at Costco, and it's huge.
Bin, by the way, is the Japanese way of saying bottle.
That's true. I forgot about it.
Yeah, just for our listeners, like you can say bin all you want to me, like I know what you're talking about. But just for our listeners,
Right. But anyways,
you always drink gin and tonic.
yeah, it's easy to make, and I don't know. I like gin a lot. I don't know why, but I kind of wanted the vodka martini, but I didn't have vodka, so.
I see.
Yeah.
Gin and tonic is always a good thing. My first encounter with drinking was with my dad, and he served me gin and tonic, and he said, "Drink all you want in front of me."
Okay.
So that you can know your limits, and I can take care of you if something happens.
Oh, that's so nice.
So I had 7 gin and tonics.
Jesus.
And I got really drunk, but he took care of me. I didn't get drunk to the point where it was like...
Sick.
Well, I did get sick, but I knew exactly where I was. We were playing this game, Dance Dance Revolution, and I was kicking everybody's ass at Dance Dance Revolution. Like, it was... Like, the drunker I got, the better I got. It was amazing.
Gosh.
So young Ian was kind of a lot of fun. Old Ian is not as fun. I'm just living by myself and practicing violin every day for hours. But yeah.
But that's amazing that you remember the first time that you drink. I don't even remember first time drinking. I mean, like, I'm sure I celebrated. Oh, wait. I do remember now. I was with my friend, like two of my friends were visiting me after the school, like at college, and then, but I guess that was the first time. So it was a little weird, but yeah, I think that was the first day.
How drunk did you get?
I wasn't that drunk, I think.
Wow.
Oh, it was in Japanese, like, can of beers and, like, can of cocktails. So it probably, like, 3%.
Yeah, not super strong.
Yeah. But I remember, like, one of my friends, she was a little older than us and asking me, like, how's the feeling of, like, being an adult? So I just remember that on that day. But I don't remember what I drank. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, your voice is super clear.
I know. Did anybody realize something has changed? I got a new mic.
Hi everybody, Editor Ian here. I'm coming on here to say that, no, we in fact do not hear a difference because Ian and Saya forgot to put Saya's input in Audacity to her external microphone. Therefore, what you are hearing is her internal microphone from her laptop. This will be fixed in future episodes. Thank you for your understanding. Bye.
Actually, like it's a hands-me-down from Ian's mic, but
Yeah, I sent you a mic. But it was not a bad mic. I got this mic through Amazon Prime Day, and it was super cheap, and since I'm a musician, you know, it's worth the investment. But I upgraded from like a, you know, pretty good mic to a really good mic. So
yeah, so I got the pretty good mic.
well, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm saying it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, I'm not a musician. It's my first mic to use. I'm very excited. It looks so professional. It lights up. Every time I talk, it's like a rainbow color. Almost like, right. It was red, now it's green. It's gonna be like turn from orange, and actually it was pink.
Well,
It's just weird, but funny.
it was so funny when I was doing my work meetings on Zoom sometimes. Like, I would have my mic in front of me.
Right.
And the color, like, one time my boss was like, Ian, like, what is that? I was like, it's my mic, you know? I got it, you know, I got it for free through, like, a promotion thing on TikTok. And, you know, I made a video and stuff like that. You know, it was kind of a commercial.
Affiliate,
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. And it was so funny because I started using it because it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's great.
And, you know, the voice sounds clear. It's not super great for, like, music, but for talking, it's great. And so I would use it for meetings and stuff. And my boss was like, what is that?
What the fancy color.
Yeah.
Of that.
And I looked at her and I said,
Like-
sorry, it's my mic. And she goes, oh, that's cool. I'm like, it's not really, but okay.
Well, it's very cool. It's fun.
Well, it wasn't cool in the context of work.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you need to have some kind of fun at work too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, personally,
So-
I think it's fine, but
Yeah.
anyway.
In my office, it'll be great, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like outside, I get the fancy mic, that kind of thing. Like, my office is very casual.
oh, yeah, it's so fun, like, walking in. I visited I remember visiting your office, and
Yeah.
the first time I walked in, everyone was like, oh, hello. How's it
Who
going?
is that?
Yeah, right. It wasn't like, oh, hello, sir. How's it going? It was like, sup,
No.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. I love my colleagues. Yeah. They're really nice.
They
and
are really
funny.
nice. They are really nice.
Yeah. But we do a good stuff. We do the work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're, I mean, sometimes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. You always work really hard.
I don't really that much, but other people that I don't know. Well, yeah.
I mean, you work on weekends recently, so.
Well, I just want to gain comp time and needs more like PTO, paid time off, kind of, so that I can go back to Japan
Yeah.
in September. Almost a month. That's
Gosh,
crazy.
That's crazy. It's exciting.
Yeah,
Well, before we get too carried away, I think we should move on to the word of the day.
sounds good. Okay, what do you have today?
So I came across this word. It's called dulcet.
Dulcet. Like, how do you spell?
Dulcet. Dulcet.
Dulcet. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is.
Are you familiar with the instrument dulcimer?
No, I gotta look it up.
Yeah. Look it up really quick.
One eternity later.
Yeah, that's cool.
There are different kinds of dulcimers.
Okay.
There's the mountain dulcimer, which sits on your lap and you pluck it
Okay.
with a pick. And then you play it like you would a piano, except for keys you're pressing down on strings. So your left hand would press down on strings and your right hand would pluck.
It's like a koto, if you know. The Japanese koto.
Ah, yeah. It's kind of like I know the Chinese guzheng.
Probably the similar thing.
Yeah.
I've only played the quarter, but yeah.
At my master's university, there was a major of guzheng. Like they created a major for one person, and she majored in guzheng because she was very good at guzheng. And so, also I'm probably saying that really American with a really American accent, but guzheng is kind of a similar thing, which is probably similar to your instrument too. So there are two or I don't know if there are two. There are probably more actually, but there's the mountain dulcimer, which is what I described, and then there's the hammered dulcimer.
Okay.
Hammered dulcimer goes like this. So this hammered dulcimer is probably in concept closer to guzheng or like an instrument like that because of the way that the bridges are situated.
Oh, so I thought like it's referring to the shape, but it's actually referring to how they play, like the hammer, using like hammer kind of thing.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Right. So the mountain dulcimer is usually played in like folk music.
Okay, like almost like a guitar.
Yeah. And so we listened to somebody play "Whiskey Before Breakfast" on the hammered dulcimer, which is the name of that folk song that you heard.
I see.
The hammered dulcimer is usually affiliated more with like medieval music or like older music. You know, probably an ancestor to folk music.
I see.
Okay. And so in video games like Skyrim, the hammered dulcimer is really prominent in all of the music. So anyway, the dulcimer is named after the word dulcet.
Okay, dulcet.
So in the mountains, the dulcimer was given the name originally dulcimor, which was later changed to dulcimer. And it comes from the Greek meaning sweet song, which is kind of what dulcet means. So dulcet specifically means sounds pleasing to the ear. So like a dulcet sound or a dulcet tone, or like a dulcet melody on a violin, for example. So I found it really interesting because I originally discovered dulcet a few weeks back, and it wasn't until like even today that I was like, wait a minute, dulcimer. I wonder if there's a connection there. And through the meaning of this word, you know, sounds pleasing to the ear, I found that dulcimer means sweet song. Like a song that's pleasing to the ear.
Right.
So yeah, that's my word.
That's cool. So like it's the music to the ear. That phrase.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. I like that phrase. I feel like it's a beautiful way to say it. Kind of.
Well, what's your word?
Okay, so my word is also associated with the ear, but a little different way. So I'm gonna introduce you a proverb today, like a Japanese proverb or like phrases, I would say. It says, 耳にタコができる.
耳にタコ耳にタコ Oh, octopus.
Yeah.
が
できる.
The ears.
Yeah, so you got the word ear.
Of the octopus. Like the octopus's ears. No, that's no. No is the... Okay.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
So that's literally means you get the octopus on your ear, like the octopus, like it grows kind of. It's like a weird say. I have no idea the origin, but that means you heard it so many times and then like you're almost like sick of it.
Oh.
So it's like very opposite of the music to the ear. Instead, like almost like your ears are like hating it, hating hearing about it.
Hmm.
So like if somebody says, or like your mom tells a kid like, hey, like, did you do your homework?
Mm.
And then like, you know, she just probably says like every 30 minutes because the kid doesn't do it.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
as a kid, like, you know, like, oh my gosh, I heard this like so many times. I'm so sick of it. And like, you know, my ear is getting that outburst. Like, so we just say like, oh, I've heard it like so many times as mimi ni tako ga dekiru.
Mm.
Yeah.
What does kiru mean?
Oh, I'm saying dekiru.
Oh,
Yes.
dekiru.
So like in this context, it means like taco is, I don't know, like growing to it or like coming out a lot.
Taco meaning octopus, yeah.
Yes, taco means
Not the food.
Oh, the taco. No. So it's just two very different opposite way of using a ear. Music to get this does that and mimi ni tako ga dekiru.
Oh my gosh, you're going to teach me so many proverbs that if I ever visit Japan, I'm going to only speak in proverbs. Like, the people
so
think I'm so wise.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, Ian, how are you? Daijoubu desu ka? And I would say, like, oh, mimi ga tako. Something's about kiru.
That's so funny. Yeah.
And I would always talk like this. Daijoubu desu ka? Yeah.
Oh my god. It was just basically saying, are you okay?
That's
You
the
are
only thing I
not.
know. That like if you say daijoubu desu ka, which means are you okay, I will respond komorebi,
Oh my gosh.
which is the light of the sun through the leaves of the tree. Kind of like sun rays. But yeah. That's
Yeah.
my really cool word that I've known ever since I met Sayaka. And
Yeah, that's so funny. Anyways, well, thank you for sharing.
yeah, thanks. I look forward to hearing more proverbs so I can
Okay.
build my arsenal and sound so wise.
Gosh. Yeah, well, knowing the proverb in a different language is the like best way to show off your level of language skills. Because like even like there's a English test called IELTS that you need to take. You know, to get English proficiency, to get in the college or proficiency, you know,
Yeah.
like it's a tongue twister to me. But, yeah, the test that international student usually needs to fill to get into the graduate school or like American schools or British schools, basically. But for the writing or even in the speaking session, the thing that I was told from the teacher was like use those proverbs like in it in the sentences, and that sounds like you sound wise and also like you can just show off how much you know.
So smart.
I know, that's like, yeah,
That's so funny. I'll be sure to do that then in Japanese.
yeah, let's do that.
So, all right, let's move on to the topic for today. What you got for me?
Well, I was just wondering, it's summertime or almost like ending of the summer vacation time usually in the school. So I was just wondering, how did you spend your time in summer, like during the summer vacation when you were a kid?
Okay. Interesting question, Saya. Well, okay, so there are kind of two ways that American kids spend it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you which one I was after I talk about this. So the first way is, you know, if the family is kind of well off financially, or at least comfortably financially, a lot of people go travel. Like I have had students at the school I teach at that travel like, I don't know, like every week. It's ridiculous. I had one student who traveled to like Paris and then to Peru all in one summer. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Like, and both of his parents are lawyers, so it's like,
Oh, rich
Yeah.
people.
right. Or you can do what I did. And I guess this is more common in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and earlier. But,
You're showing off your ages.
I didn't say which year I was.
Okay.
And I said that it was more popular, which means
okay,
I could.
okay.
I'm not old. Just kidding, I am.
Old.
Shh. No one has to know. So, nowadays I think that a lot of children kind of like sit inside and play on the computer and like stuff. But I didn't have a computer, so I usually went outside. And I'm not saying that going outside is a thing of the past. I'm saying what we did outside was a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So I was a huge Pokemon fan as a kid. And so I would go around to the neighbors or like my friends in the neighborhood and trade Pokemon cards pretty much all day.
That's fun.
And it got to the point where my dad had to forbid us doing that because we would always, like one time I think I traded a Charizard for like something not great. And my dad was like, that's a ripoff. You can't do that anymore. You have to trade a rare for a rare, common for a common, and uncommon for an uncommon. And that was the hard rule. And I was afraid to break that rule. So, I would go around trading Pokemon cards, go to my friend's house, play some video games. But a lot of my time was spent mimicking or playing like role playing, like live action role playing. You know the term LARP. That's the adult version of what I did. I would grab a stick and I would pretend it's a sword or a staff or a gun or, and my friends and I would each pick out our own sticks and play make-believe. And I would always mimic Dragon Ball Z.
Oh.
That was my sword. That was my weapon. That was my special magical staff.
Like, Kamehameha.
Yeah, right. I mean, I know that Gohan and Goku and everybody didn't use weapons, but that was like my version of that, I was like Gandalf with like a staff. Staff was always my weapon of choice. And so you would find this really funny, I think. But in Dragon Ball Z, there was Gohan and Goku.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought that it was really fun that their names only changed in the last part of the word. So go blank.
True.
And so I took that, and instead of like knowing the origin of their names or whatever, I would think, oh, you can just have a name that's similar to that. And make up your own name, which I did. So I had, my favorite character was Johan.
Okay.
And I had like Johan, Bohan, Fohan, Lohan, like I just did that. And I had like character sheets for all of them. And every day that I would go outside, I would take out my clipboard that had all of my character sheets, and I would flip and see which one I wanted to be. And each of my characters had like a backstory that I wrote down, and I had like age and weight and power level and stuff like that. And I drew them.
That's cool. So you had like your version of like sort of Pokemon card or like a Dragon Ball Z card.
That was it. Yes, that was the idea. Cool. And I mean, like looking as an adult, it was more akin to like Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, I played a lot of that in my adult years, but as a kid, I didn't know what that was. So this was kind of like my version of that. And growing up in a nerdy family, that was not unheard of.
Nice. I think like you did a good job like using the same kanji or like same like a name.
I just found ones that rhymed, like it was just like...
Yeah, it's rhymed, but like, I think it's like you took the rule in a like very, like in a good manner, like in a good, like, or in an accurate way, I would say.
Oh.
Because like, so I looked it up, the kanji character for Gohan and Goku, and then they both use the same kanji character from for Go.
Yeah.
Which means, I mean, it's kind of typical thing to do in Japanese, like to get one kanji from your dad to a child, like especially like to father to son kind of thing. So I don't have like any kanji from my parents, but I think it's more like a generation thing. So my uncle, my mom's side, like his name is ending with ya. My grandpa name also ends with ya, and they share the kanji. So like the getting one kanji from father to son is a kind of a thing to do.
Yeah.
And my cousin, which is like my uncle's son, also shared the same ya kanji at the end. So like kind of like you can tell from the family tree the who is like father and son, and the father and son,
that's cool.
kind of like chain link.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think like you did a perfect way to do things like that.
Gohan, Johan, Johan, Mohan.
Yeah, kind of. In a way, like, you know.
That was not my thought process at all. I was just what
I
sounds
know,
like it?
You just like did it correctly. Good job, Ian, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate that. He appreciates that too. Congratulations, little Ian. I'm a genius and I don't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does that differ from your summers?
Well, it sounds like you didn't have like any homework at all.
Okay, that was more in like high school. And usually school didn't assign any homework unless you were in what we call AP classes.
Okay, what's the AP classes?
Like college prep classes.
Oh, but like still high school level.
Yeah, so the idea was that it was less high school level and more college level so that you could take a test and get college credit for them. I didn't go to a community college or anything to take those. It was at my high school.
Yeah, but like you're still saying that like even that AP class starts in high school. So like even you had a chance to get a homework, it would start from high school.
Right.
Is very, very, very different. Like I had a homework since elementary school during the summer.
Oh, wow.
Like it's a thing. Like you will like, you know, get home at the end of school day. And then like, I'm like, yay, like it's a summer vacation from tomorrow, but you got a bunch of homework to do as well.
Oh,
and yeah. So as an elementary school, I used to have maybe like it's a local different things, and you know, in generation wise, probably different now, but I had like one booklet kind of thing called Natsu no Tomo. Tell me if you're a Japanese listener and you had this too. Tell me in the comments.
Yeah, email us at otsumamiparty@gmail.com.
Yeah. So the Natsu no Tomo has like almost like, I don't know, like 40 pages, like booklet kind of. And then you need to write your like goals by the end of the summer vacation. In different like probably like 3 different categories. Like one is study aims, like study goal. Second is like your like physical goals, like you need to do some exercise as well. And like the third one is like the helping your family, which is like basically doing the chores. So like you need to set those goals. And like, well, like basically, I don't know, like you would say like, well, study hard and then like make the homework done earlier, like by the half of the summer vacation so that I can play more at the end of the summer. And then like for the chores, I will do the dishes every time, or like I would wash the bathtub every day. And like for physical things, you know, do the jump rope for 100 times. So like you run around the apartment or those kind of things. And the part that I hated, but you usually needed to do is you gotta wake up 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and then go to the radio taiso, which is radio like gymnastic? Not gymnastic. I don't know, like the little exercise.
Yeah, exercise. Yuck.
I know. I really, really hated it. But like it started like from 7 a.m. You also got like little cards that has a calendar of like August basically, or yeah, like the around the time that your school vacation starts and then. So basically like half of the July or like August-ish. And if you go there, so some like a higher age group has like a leader. Like, like if you were like 5th grade or 6th grade, you have to go there and then you set up a little table for the other kids to come. And then they have like little stamps that you can put on the card, like every day you come. So you need to wake up early and then you go there and then you do the exercise with them. As it's called radio, so it came up from the radio. And we play it and then we do the exercise and after that you get the stamps. But I hated it so freaking much. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I really hated it. And like, that's traumatized experience. Like, nothing is traumatizing, but like the bad memory of that, like how hated I was, make it like still the most hated exercise in the world or even in the universe to me is that exercise. It's called the radio Typhoons. I gotta send you the link so that you can see what it is like.
Yeah, please.
And you could probably like put some music of it that like almost like all Japanese could recognize, I think.
I see.
I really hated it, but
we should probably maybe post a reel like explaining what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
So that our listeners can check it out.
True. Yeah, so that's how like your day starts, basically. And well, sometimes my parents comes with me and like do it together. And then you start basically like you start studying, doing the homework. But you can also go to the pool at the school and meet up friends there and yeah. So like just going out or like staying inside, but basically like doing the homework or doing some research. Oh, there's like another homework that you need to do. It's like called Jiugenkyu, which means free research. So like it's kind of like a science project. It doesn't have to be like science, but like you gotta do
so much.
Oh yeah, Japanese kids are very busy, even in summer. And what I heard from like some kind of like news was like nowadays like it's changing a lot, or like some area doesn't even require this like kind of booklet thing because like it requires a lot of like project, which means like more like parents involved or like adults involved, and it's kind of getting harder because I mean like my mom was like stay-at-home mom, so like she didn't work. So, my mom was like in the house all the time, so we can do it together. But, most of our parents nowadays work, 8 to 5 or whatever. So it's really hard to do. So it's been changing. But in my time, I had like some little science project or like artwork. And also, another big thing I just remembered was like you read a book and then you need to write a report about it.
That alone, that book, read the book and write a report, was the extent of summer homework for AP classes in high school.
In high school, though.
Like they would assign us like a sizable book, a few hundred pages.
Yeah.
We would read it, we'd annotate it, and then on the first day of school, we had to either talk about it or we had to create a book report over it. But that was only for AP classes.
Oh my gosh, we've been doing that since elementary school from the first year until at the end of the high school.
So we had book reports during the year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but everything we needed to do in terms of homework was during the year, but usually over the summer we never had homework.
Wow.
But what I find striking about what you're explaining to me is like the difference between the American school system and the Japanese school system. Nowadays, the American school system seems to be more interested in test scores and testing and making sure that you can test well. Whereas the Japanese school system, from your description, sounds more like they're just trying to create a well-rounded human being. Like year-round, like you had to make a report over your physical exercise, your at-home things, and, read a book and do all of these exercise, things that would benefit you as a person versus I don't know how you see it, but it's like, that's what it's sounding to me, because like we never had to talk about like how we will help out at the house at school. Like I never had to talk about my chores. I never had to talk about, my exercise unless I was in physical education classes, like we called it PE classes, but even after 6th grade, we didn't have to take those.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I think like a Japanese schools are focuses on the test in junior high school and high school, but like what I was talking about in elementary schools and elementary school and junior high school is like everyone has to go basically. I don't know, like the high school is kind of a choice, like many people does, but it's a choice. But for elementary school and junior high, you have to. So yeah, that makes sense. Like not too much focus on the testing scores.
So my mom is a teacher at an elementary school, and she, in America, just in case the listeners were wondering, but she is always complaining about how she always has to focus too much on testing and like whether or not her test scores are good, and like everything boils down to the score on the test. And she always feels sad about it, always complains about it, always. And that seems to be, at least in the Midwest, the school system. And I've heard about that, not just from my mom, but from many other teachers, about how everything nowadays, maybe not back in the day, but nowadays everything is more test driven. And everything is all about preparing for the test, preparing to score well on tests and all that. And, it's not necessarily to prepare them for college, but it's a new way of, or at least the school's way of assessing how smart the student is. Like it's not a test to get into somewhere. It's not a test for college or for future. It's to see where your student is at. Like a benchmark. We call it benchmark tests.
Interesting.
So,
I mean, yeah, I feel like Japanese school does focus on those things too during the term, but
sure.
For at least the summer, we had those things too. But other than that, well, I wasn't a like rich family or anything. Like both of my parents are not lawyers, but my dad could take a week off in a year as a PTO. So usually he takes it for us, for me, during the summer. And we did a trip, like a family trip usually, and visiting like different parts of Japan.
I've got to tell you, and this might age me quite a bit, but in the year 1999, my family and I went to a trip to Disneyland. During, I don't know if any of our listeners remembers, but in 1999 in Florida, is Florida Disneyland or Disney World? I can't ever remember.
Disney World, I think.
Okay. So we went to Disney in Florida. And I don't know if any of our listeners remember 1999 or were even born then, but in 1999, off the Atlantic coast, there was a hurricane called Hurricane Floyd. And it hit Florida the same time I was in Orlando.
Oh.
And I remember the palm trees, how like stiff the palm and how like hard the trunks of the palm trees are, like they barely move. But it was like sideways.
Oh.
Like blowing. It was crazy. I remember a lot of rain. And I didn't realize that it was a hurricane at the time. So the next day, when my parents were like, oh, the hurricane happened. I was like, oh, did I sleep through it? And they said, yeah, you slept through it. But I didn't realize that the whole day beforehand was also hurricane, because, I grew up in Oklahoma, which is the tornado capital of the world. I mean, not really. I mean, I guess Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, that's all tornado. Arkansas, that's all tornado alley. And Texas, I should say. But Oklahoma had its tornadoes, like a lot of them. And so when summer thunderstorms would come, it would always come with strong winds. It would always come with tornadoes. It would always come with lightning and stuff. So I guess as a kid, I didn't realize that was not normal.
I see.
So I wonder, I mean, like, this is future Ian thinking about it in hindsight, but I wonder if I was just thinking that was normal storm, and then thinking the hurricane
that
was
you
at
can
night.
just sleep through it. But
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's interesting.
But that was a summer vacation that I went to, was to Disney in Florida. We drove there from Oklahoma. So
oh wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
Back when you can afford vacations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's one summer that we went to a little island called Shodoshima. That was really famous for olives tree.
Ooh, no wonder you like olives.
Oh yeah, I love olives like since I was like really young. So.
Best combination, olives and blue cheese.
Oh yeah, I know. I knew it since I was a kid. That sounds like really I'm a weird kid kind of.
Nah. I was also a weird kid who liked the tastes that no one else liked. Like my dad made me sip on some beer as a kid, like just really sip it just to
like
taste
a
it.
foam part, right?
Yeah. And he goes,
Like,
"Did you like it?"
too.
And as a kid, I was like, "Of course I like it," because no one else liked it. And I wanted to be different.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't like that. Just kidding. But I mean, like, I really loved olives and cheese. But so yeah, they took me to the island that is famous for the olive, and then, well, we got the 2 olives, like a tree, the little ones, the young tree. Oh, by the way, it's a little trivia about the olives, but olive trees don't grow if there's no other olive tree around it in the 2-kilometer diameter.
I see.
So you need 2 trees because at the time where we lived, there was no olive tree.
Oh wow.
Where in my hometown, so we got 2 little ones, and well, I think my parents' place still has it. But anyways, yeah. Well, the summer is the typhoon season in Japan, and it was like hitting that island almost. And like since it was an island, we went there by using the ferry and driving. So like, the people at the hotels and like towns were saying like, I don't know, like your ferry will be fine like the next day. Like you probably should leave now, otherwise like you can't leave after the tornado. I mean, after the typhoon goes away.
Yeah.
So like, and then like my dad has a job to back, after
to get back to,
get back to after the trip. So he couldn't change the schedule. And he was like, well, we probably better going back. But I was a kid. I was like, no way, like, well, like, it's a trip. Like, I want to enjoy it. But, like, he was, like, convincing me, like, well, we would take you to the newest aquarium that we got in the town.
Oh.
At the time. Yeah, afterwards. So, like, just let's go now. Yeah, so that was one summertime, but yeah, it's a typhoon season and hurricane season, I guess, in summer.
Well, it sounds so different than my summers.
Really?
Like your summers having to do like homework.
Right,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
But in terms of like travel, it seems like our vacations were similar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time to do. Yeah.
Well, in interest of time, we should call it an evening. Please email us if you have something to say about our episode or just want to say hi or have something you want to talk to us about.
Yeah, I really want to hear how your summer vacation was as a kid. And if there's a Japanese listeners, I need to know if you had a Natsu no Tomo, the booklet, or not, and you still love the radio exercise, or hate it like
I
me.
don't think anybody sane would love that.
I don't know. My parents still does it because it's really good for the health.
But as a kid, like a sane kid would never like it.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, yeah, send us an email. Let us know what you think. And
thank you for listening.
And we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
See ya. Hey guys, thank you for listening to our podcast. We get our publicity mainly from word of mouth, so make sure to tell your friends about us. If you have something you would like us to talk about, or just want to say hi, you can send an email to otsumamiparty@gmail.com. That is otsumamiparty@gmail.com. And please sign the email with the unique username.
Please let us know what you think of the podcast and where you are tuning in from as well, and we may mention it in our next episode. Tune in next week.
See ya.